Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spooky AF. My name is Rob. Today I'll be your host. I'm also joined by my lovely co-host, Suz. Suz, how are you?
I mean, that is, like I said, like, that's a loaded question, and loaded like a gun, not like a chalupa, unfortunately. But no, I'm fine.
The fact that I heard you pause before you answered told me pretty much everything I needed to know right there.
It's like when we worked, like, at the workplace where we met, sometimes we just look at each other and just, like, take a breath in sync, and it was just desperation.
It wasn't good. No. I think about that every once in a while.
Yeah. I think about the amount of times that we really did live as the dystopian version of Jim from The Office, just breaking the fourth wall.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. But I think in a less subtle way, because like people did notice.
Oh yeah.
That didn't go down well sometimes.
No, it didn't, but we did it anyway. No, I was... So do you want me to tell you the story I started telling you just before we started recording that I said I needed to...
I do, because we were just catching up before the call, just seeing how each other were, and Sue's just dropped this random nugget on me and says, oh, remind me to tell you about this when we start recording. So I took the move to start recording immediately so I can hear this story. So please, Suze, go ahead and tell me.
A bit of Sue's lore. So recently I had to travel up to Northern Ireland for a meeting, and so I was taking a very early train from Connolly up to Belfast, and it was so early, in fact, that there was like no public transport from where I live that would get me there as early as I needed to be there for the train, so I had to take a taxi.
Okay.
And so I booked the taxi, it was fine, and he showed up, and this guy was like a darling. He was so lovely, so friendly, all that. We were chatting, and he was fantastic, because he asked me, he's like, oh, are you not originally from Ireland? And I was like, oh no, I actually just became an Irish citizen. I'm originally from the States, unfortunately. And I was like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, I've been here for, decades and decades now. I'm originally from Africa. And so we were chatting, and then I don't remember exactly how we got on the topic, but he then started like really pleading with me to decide to have children. And so,
wow.
Because he was like, what? He goes, look, you're still young. What are you, 25, 26? And I was like, can I record you? Can I keep that one in my back pocket for when I'm feeling bad? So I told him, I was like, oh no, I am well looking down the barrel of 35. And he was like, oh, okay, well, you have less time then. And I was like, yep, every day an egg dies. I was like,
you're barren.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You are barren. I'm sorry to tell you this.
just cobwebs up in my ovaries, but they're just like dust. But he was like, no, you have to have kids. He's like, because you're kind and smart, and and I was like, oh, that's really nice. And he's like, also, like, when you get old, he said something. He was like, you don't know how they're being treated in nursing homes. And I was like, oh, this is getting grim.
Jesus, that took a turn.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, like, guys, humanity's going to be well dead by the time I need to be in a nursing home. So, but anyway, so he was like jointly saying, like, you seem so lovely, like, you should have children, you won't regret it. And then he said, if you need to convince your husband, just know that a woman always has all the power. And I was like, I don't know what that says about, like, your relationship. I don't know what it says about women. I think it's good. It was, okay, I need to put this in context. It was like 5:30 in the morning. So
that dude either just started his shift or was at the end of it.
Yeah, for sure. So he was
I can't decide if he's a bit of an ally or if he's a bit of a problem.
I think he's a friend. You know what? I think he was so lovely, and he actually even like pulled into like a more inconvenient spot because he wanted me to be closer to the door so I could be safer. So like he was like nice. He was like an actual gem of a human. It was just such a funny, like, at 5 a.m, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that really there's a lot to drop on someone at 5 a.m.
Like, and I obviously didn't know him well enough, because I didn't know him at all, to be like, if I could have more than one IUD, I would. If I could have an IUD that was what is it, an IED? Like, that would be fun. Like, if they could just blow up my womb, that'd be great. So. Oh god.
You should have dropped that on him just as you were getting out of the taxi and just watch this man's life just shatter in front of you.
I couldn't do that. He was a sweetie. So no, I'll just...
All his hopes and dreams for your uterus.
I know. So as I got out, I was like, well, I will think about it. As I shut the door, I was like, well, I thought about it. But yeah. So anyway, that was my fun encounter of the week.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's definitely more fun encounter and update than what I have to update with.
Is it? Please tell me you've taken further the looking into getting a machete on Amazon so you and my brother can match vibes.
No, not yet. Okay. Anyway, no, I've been doing like garden work and stuff like that.
So you need the machete.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have a tough time getting that one past my wife.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, my update is I recently got an ergonomic mouse and it's the greatest thing ever.
Oh my god, is it like the Logitech one?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you can't go back now, right?
No, I really can't. Like it's got like a scroller on the side for my thumb to go like horizontal, or I can just remap it to whatever I want.
Yep, I have the same mouse.
It kind of hurts me now knowing that I can't go back.
Yep. Well, it's why it's the whole reason why we can never fly first class, because we'll just never fly again because we'll never go back.
There's that, and also I can't afford it.
Oh, well, no, I'm talking about a situation in which we are suddenly given a first class ticket.
Oh, very good. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to myself. I couldn't, because I know myself deep down that I would turn into a fancy bitch.
Oh my god, I would turn into
and I can't.
I mean, I'm already I feel like I'm a passenger princess, just like walking, holding hands with my husband on the pavement. So like, if you give me the opportunity to act like a French poodle in first class, I will be the fanciest bitch. Fergie will have nothing on me in her glamorousness.
Fair, absolutely fair. Oh, I have one final update for you, Suz, actually, that I feel like you'll appreciate. Okay. Through sheer stubbornness and for a multitude of reasons that I just won't get into right now, I have basically forced myself to now like sparkling water.
Oh my god, buddy!
Yeah, I know.
You know I have such a deep and abiding love. Wait. What? Why? Yeah, wait. What? You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, no, I know that. I didn't do it for you. Don't worry.
Rob, I didn't think you did it for me. I'm asking why you did it at all.
There's been numerous times over the last few weeks and months where I have been offered sparkling water as the only option, and I've just had to politely do the Irish thing of oh, thanks, and then not drink it.
Right.
So there was that, but then also, I don't know if this just happens to everyone when they get in their 30s, but all of a sudden, more and more people in my friends group are coming around sparkling water. And again, it's just putting me in a position where I just know that I'm going to have to eventually get on board with it. So
wait, does this mean that
it is the most first world issue I've ever had to deal with in my life?
Does this mean that on our Patreon rewards, when we eventually maybe get one, the first step is you're helping fund Suz's soda stream, and the second step is you're helping fund Rob's soda stream?
I'm keeping myself as a bit of a basic bitch when it comes to sparkling water. I'm not allowing myself to dip into the better brands.
God, no. I think people who get the better brands are obnoxious. The notions on those people. I get the cheapest Tesco sparkling water.
That's good.
Which by the way, gripe about Ireland. In the UK, the cheapest Tesco sparkling water is the everyday value sparkling water, and it's something like 8p for a 2 liter. Here it's Slevenmore or whatever sparkling water, and it's the most basic one, but it is something like €1.20 for a bottle. And I just want to say notions, Ireland. No.
Well,
Oh, but God, that's me now. I'm Irish. Shit.
You are, yeah.
There we go.
You're to blame.
Not again.
You've signaled to Tesco that clearly there's a market for it, so they've upcharged.
Oh, I single-handedly I'm keeping the sparkling water business alive.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I can. It's palatable for me now. So.
Well, I mean, that means you have to come visit me at my office at some point, because you do know we can get sparkling water on the tap, right?
No, I didn't know that, and it doesn't surprise me knowing where you work that you can do that.
And now, if you ever come to our offices, I'm gonna just say oh, so sorry, our the regular water tap's broken. It's sparkling or nothing, just for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to oblige and be oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Can we possibly pivot to a horror media update?
Absolutely.
So my husband and I went to the cinema, which we almost never do, but apparently you can get a decent cheap ticket deal via Amazon Prime for Odeon. Yep. So we did that, and because people who aren't in Ireland, going to the cinema is actually criminally expensive here.
It's basically a night out.
It's it is a proper night out. You either go out to dinner or you go to a film. You do not do both. So anyway, so we went to the cinema and we saw Sinners.
Oh, I've heard that's really good.
It is now one of my top 10 favorite films of all time.
That's good. Yeah, I've heard good things about it, so it's on my list.
It is incredible, so much fun. I loved the like you can do a really deep kind of like thick description, critical analysis of it around things like media and racism and things, and then also it's just super fun to watch. And I won't go into anything further because you should go in cold.
Okay, good.
So
it's one of those films that I actually genuinely know absolutely nothing about it, but I've only heard good things about it.
It's kind of a slow build, but then when the turn happens, it fucking commits.
Okay, that's good to know. Right, you've sold me now.
Good.
So
Okay, good. You should definitely go see it. Michael B. Jordan was chef's kiss, no notes.
Well, he's great to be fair. So
yeah, what a guy. Also, Haley Steinfeld, like, oh my god, so good.
Okay, yeah, well, that's good to know. I'm definitely gonna go. So,
but that does remind me of something that I hope we're entertaining. Like, I do hope that there are some people who are like, I enjoy the first 15 minutes of them catching up. But something that I wanted to bring up on the podcast was I just got this text from out of the blue from Rob, which isn't uncommon. We're friends, we message each other, but like it just said, how the fuck did I not know that Riz is short for charisma? And I said, girly pop, we have talked about that before. I was like, I think we've talked about it on the pod. And then
I'm almost certain we haven't. I still maintain that.
But I'm still convinced this is your Gandalf Mines of Moria. Like, I don't know this place. Like...
I was watching a video the other day. It was Saturday morning. I watch a series where they do like a playthrough of Elden Ring.
Oh, right.
It's one of my favorite games. I've played it through multiple times, and now they're doing a long form series of it. And it's three guys to play it, and they're generally like very funny. They're called RKG if people are interested in them. And they had this whole just joke thing going for a while, and then one of them goes, "Yeah, it's like how Rizzler short for Riz," and I literally had the same reaction as one of the guys where I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And I genuinely had no idea. So Riz and charisma, that went over my head quite a bit.
Okay,
so.
no, because I clearly remember on the recording, or at least we were on a call together for sure. It was verbally said that I said the phrase "sticking out your gyat" for the Rizzler, and then you had to.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember that. I know that's locked in. That I remember.
Okay. Oh god.
So yeah, no, I had no memory of it, and now I kind of feel better for knowing it, but also I don't like the fact that I have that knowledge now.
I mean, that's just the world these days. It's like, why do I know that? That's in my brain now.
Yeah, true, very true. Well, it's out there now, so I know. But speaking of knowledge of things,
oh god, I just gripped the arms of my chair.
I'm very excited to talk about today's case with you, Sid, because
Skippers, come back.
This is a fun one. You said to me that you'd had a rough day, you'd had a rough week, and I was like, I've had this one on the back burner for a while, a fun one that I have been putting off for this very circumstance. So I'm about to drop this one on you today.
Thank God.
And I feel like you'll know about this before we even get into it. I feel like this is one of those things that everyone knows something about.
Okay. I mean, you would be like dumbfounded by the depths of my ignorance. Just generally.
Fair.
So don't worry.
Well, we'll dip a toe into your knowledge and see how much you know. So
there we go.
Have you ever been to Denver before?
No, I've been to Winter Park, Colorado with the marching band. I fell down a mountain while trying to snow.
You can't drop this lore on us this far into...
Oh.
We're 17 and a half minutes in.
Well, it does...
You can't drop this.
It doesn't help the fact that as I slid down, my ski pants fell down, so I ended up at the bottom of the mountain like bare-assed. So...
we are going to come back to this on another day.
Back. Okay, but no, I have not been to Denver. I believe that my grandmother lived there for a few years, but I've never been.
Interesting. Okay. Well, in Denver, there is quite a large airport. And
oh my god,
this is
yes
probably one of the most interesting buildings on the planet.
Is this? Oh my god,
like
the Denver airport? Oh my god.
Yeah. So like this whole building is you could do a multiple multiple part series on this building. There's that much weird shit in it.
Do you know I've been there?
And
sorry, when you asked if I've been to Denver, I thought it was like the city, but I have been to the airport once.
Oh my god.
It was the first place my husband had ever been in America. Like that was the place where we that was the place where we landed and then caught a different plane down to Texas.
Amazing. Okay, well then this episode will be like, you can provide context then to the things that I'm about to talk about.
I am so excited.
So Denver International Airport, as I said, it is probably one of the strangest buildings on the planet. And by strange, I mean also one of the coolest buildings on this planet.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is a rich, deep lore about this building that it's like an inch deep and a mile wide. Is the best way to describe the lore for this building, because there are multiple avenues that you can go down and rabbit hole and Reddit threads and everything just looking into what this building is. And it doesn't help the fact that Denver International Airport themselves and just Denver, like the area, they lean into this now. Like they know what the meme is, so they're not shy about leaning into some of the conspiracy theory stuff come out about the building. But I suppose the high level notes for this is that there is potentially a secret portal to the underworld. There's an underground network of tunnels.
Yep.
There's an underground civilization of lizard people.
That's the one I've heard.
That there's Nazi symbolism in the building as well.
God.
The Freemasons built it. The New World Order
yes.
basically outed themselves in this building. There's secret languages written on walls that no one understands.
What?
And to top it all off, there are some of probably the most interesting and strange art pieces I've ever seen. They're on display in this building. And they're very cool pieces of art, but I struggle to find the reasoning why they're in an airport. And right at the front of the airport, there is a statue of a horse that they have called Lucifer.
Oh, now that is an incredible piece of information that's now in my mind. I'm so happy to know that.
So we're going to do not so much a deep dive into this airport today, but we're going to talk at length about the various different conspiracy theories that are out there about this airport.
Amazing. Wait, Rob, does this mean that does this mean that the Denver International Airport is now on our, we're definitely going to get enough listeners to be able to fund us like going across America to haunted places tour? Like,
oh, I absolutely, like if we fly to the States for anything to do with this podcast,
we're going to Denver.
We're going to take a connection through
Denver.
We're going to Denver.
Okay.
You'll be delighted to know that Aer Lingus actually fly there now. Oh. So you can now get a direct flight to Denver from Dublin. It writes itself.
I like the idea that you would be going through pre-clearance at Dublin Airport, and the American like person at the passport control will be like, "So what's your business in America?" And you just go like, "Lizard people, ghosts, like Texas Bigfoot," and you say it with just a straight face.
Just look at them and be like, "My business is my own. Don't ask that question again."
You just drop the craziest crap. You've been like a Velisca axe murder, like, you know. Oh god. You'd be like, well, what? You fucking asked. If you didn't want to know, don't ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your mind has been opened now, sir.
No, the tin.
I can't help you anymore.
The tin hat is religious.
So, starting with the final bit that I dropped on you, the mural or the horse that's known as Lucifer. So, Suz, I'm going to send you a picture of what Lucifer looks like.
Let me pull up Discord.
So you
What?
Yeah. So
that has to be fake. That's AI.
It is not. I will send you a follow-up picture so you can see it right outside the airport.
Oh my god, that looks even more like AI.
So, Lucifer is a 32, I've become very Irish, I all of a sudden can't say 32. It's a 32-foot tall sculpture, right? And it's supposed to be, like Denver's whole thing is about like the Broncos, so it's supposed to be like a Mustang. But the artist decided to make it this blue horse with glowing red eyes.
And black veins running through.
And it is muscular, to say the least.
It looks like, to me, it looks like if anybody out there has played like Breath of the Wild, it looks like if you got on like a Staldox to one of the horse, like the bone horses, but it were somehow kind of beefy and blue, and then maybe it had also done cocaine.
Oh, absolutely. So Yeah,
It looks mad. It
So-
looks mad at people who are going to the airport.
Oh, it's so angry, Suze, that it killed its artist. So
What?
the artist who was sculpting it was called Luis Jimenez.
Yeah.
He was 65 years old and was working on the headpiece. He had recently just finished it. I think he'd painted it and everything when a piece of the artwork broke loose, fell on his leg, severed his artery, and killed him.
What?
So since that point, so his family and friends then finished the statue on his behalf. But from that point onwards, once people found out that the statue had killed its owner, it got the title Blucifer because of its demonic glowing red eyes that it also
Are you telling me Blucifer has tasted blood and thirsts for more?
Blucifer has tasted blood. It knows what man flesh tastes like now.
It's had long pig.
It has, and it only gets like funnier in the sense of Jimenez's wife.
Yeah.
Apparently recounted a story of him hearing a noise late at night and being frightened by a pair of ephemeral, like these glowing red eyes that just appeared in his living room.
What?
So he apparently was so shocked by this, he thought that they had just appeared in his room, that after the shock had passed, he realized that they are actually just his actual horse outside the window of the house.
Oh.
The horse was named Blackjack, but that basically after this whole thing had happened, she speculated that he chose the red eyes to illustrate like the point that something that could frighten you is simply just because you're unfamiliar with it, or in some sort of weird tribute.
No.
Or it's a demonic horse sculpture.
I mean, I do like the idea that by the way, I'm not laughing that the artist died. I'm just like, this horse looks insane. I think that I like the idea that he sculpted it. And he was like, you know what? I had this like really terrifying experience where I didn't know what was going on. There were these glowing red eyes. And I would like everyone to have experienced that fear with me.
Exactly.
Like that's a level of like petty hatred that I really like.
Yep. So that's the horse outside the building.
What an entrance.
100%. Like, you know, you can't really knock.
Well, see, I didn't see
horse.
Lucifer because like obviously like we landed in the airport and then just caught a connection there, so I didn't get to see really outside. So
yeah, so apparently you can't actually see Blucifer from the actual airport itself. It's only on the entrance on the way in. But something that you will be familiar with, Suze, as you were landing in the airport, allegedly the layout of the runways is suspiciously in the shape of a swastika.
Oh my god! Sorry, Rob just sent me a picture.
So a lot of conspiracy theorists have looked at the layout of the airport and its runways and very crudely drew some red lines around the way the runways go.
It looks...
And they've created this very crude shape of a swastika. I feel like this is one of those pareidolia things where they're finding a pattern in something that is absolutely not there.
Oh yeah. No, this is because like the red lines make like the rough, very rough shape of a swastika as if, but it's like the one that like a sixth grader who is trying to be edgy, who doesn't have like any real idea of the context or historical significance, draws on the side of a journal. Like honestly, like if you took away the red lines, I could probably make a pattern that would be like, look, it looks like a human butt, or so like there's like a curve there and a curve there, and there's the asshole. Like you could do anything with that.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Are they saying that these are Nazi ley lines?
Yeah, basically. Okay. Like that's effectively what people are saying. It's basically like a showcase to the world that it's okay for them to go there.
What? Okay. What?
It's just, as we know, says conspiracy theories and Nazis unfortunately go hand in hand a lot of the time.
Which is so disappointing because there are so many fun conspiracy theories that are really funny and then they like always take a left turn into like anti-Semitism, and you're like, God damn it. Like, I was having fun and now I'm like disgusted. Thanks.
Yeah, true. So it's an interesting one anyway. I found a random bit of knowledge for you here on this one is: have you seen the film Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Obviously, come on, I'm not a noob.
Good, excellent. It is one of my favorite films of all time. It's a great film. Anyone who hasn't watched it needs to go watch it. It's incredible. But there's a broadcast in the film at one point, and it supposedly delivers the coordinates for the Devil's Tower in Wyoming to one of the main characters of the film, and that's that's how it's a kind of a pivotal point of the story. However, for some unknown reason, the coordinates don't actually match the Devil's Tower in Wyoming.
Okay.
They actually match the construction site for where Denver International Airport was built 20 years later.
I love that so much.
So I'm not saying anything really with this, but it's just an interesting fact that a film about UFOs and aliens,
Well,
they provided coordinates to a building that's a link to some strange conspiracy theories.
before we move on, I think that this picture in particular will really resonate with people who have ever been to, because if you take the red lines away, right, so you just see the kind of geo outline of the airport, it looks a lot like if you're in Dublin and you go to Blanchardstown Shopping Center and you go to like the bathroom on the upper floor.
Oh my god, it
along
does.
the walls, they've got pictures of like the development of Blanchardstown Shopping Center, which looked like a fucking nightmare for years. Which is in itself a very weird building. Like if you ever go in on one floor and then like you can't find the ground floor and shit, like it's kind of a confusing building. It looks like one of those pictures. Like so if you had just thrown it up there and without the red lines, I'd been like, what is that? I'd be like, oh, it's Blanche. I'd have been like, oh,
well, there you go.
I'd been like, oh yeah, that's that. Like sometimes we go to the Odeon there, like.
True, very true. So, moving on then. So, as we enter the building, right, there was a capstone that was placed in the building as I suppose the first block laid in the construction. And I'm just going to send you an image of it, Suz. There's no point in me even trying to describe this until you see it.
Oh God.
So the capstone literally has the symbol of 3 Masons right in the front.
Yeah, it's the image on it.
Yeah. So the capstone was literally laid by one of the Grand Masons from the Freemason.
Fuck, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, there's a time capsule.
There is a time capsule that's going to be opened in 2094. And you'll notice under the date of March 19th, 1994, you'll notice something there called the New World Airport Commission.
What is that?
Exactly.
Oh, wait. No, you're fucking with me. It has to be a real thing.
I am not fucking with you. So, the New World Airport Commission that's listed on this capstone, there's no record of it ever existing. No one knows what this is.
That is incredible. You're joking me.
So, people have literally taken this to mean that it's literally like the New World Order, which I am not going to get into on this podcast today.
Oh,
but it's basically catcalling to the world that the New World Order has basically like placed its claim on this area and that they're intrinsically linked with the Freemasons, and it's right there out in the open.
I'm honestly like, this isn't like the non-casual listeners will know that we don't record with video. It's just a voice call. I would literally like mouth agape. That is, I really hope somebody just thought it was funny. That's my dream.
So I can give you the official reason for why it was called that if you want.
I do want that.
Okay, so there's a conductor for the Colorado Springs Symphony.
Yep.
And she allegedly was involved in the design of this or something to do with the New World Airport Commission.
Yep.
And she said that the reason why they settled on that name was it was in tribute to Dvorak's Symphony No. 9, which is called From the New World.
Oh.
Or it's more commonly known as the New World Symphony.
I know it.
So she has said that they wanted to call it the New World Airport Commission as tribute to that.
Yep.
That's the official line, but I think we both know it's clearly the shadow government.
That is the most clear. I will say it's the most clear evidence that I've been provided with for the Illuminati. Either that or like this is just turning into the something that the cast of people in the wrongly canceled Netflix show Inside Job would have to like cover up.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's there. I really don't.
Why it's here.
Yeah. So moving on then, if we were to walk into the building then, we would see a number of just strange symbols and writing throughout the building. So I'm going to send you just one of them for the moment. And people were initially quite confused by this symbol. So it's a symbol of a leaf, basically.
It's just like a fossilized imprint of it or something,
Yeah, so people couldn't understand what the language was initially and started saying that it was some like secret Kabbalistic language that nobody outside of this secret society would basically know. Upon more study and information provided, it's since been confirmed that it's actually just the Navajo language.
Oh, now that is the most absolutely like American born and bred like ignorance and racism.
I completely agree.
To be like, ain't nobody ever listened like that, spoken like this, and there's just like a whole history of a people that are like, oh, well, fuck you too.
Yeah, absolutely. So the translations that are on the, I suppose, the inscriptions throughout the area, one says which is white metal, which means silver.
Yeah.
Another one says the mountain that is white, or what people would now call White Mountain.
Okay.
There's another one called Tallow River, which is the translated Navajo name for a branch of the South Platte River, which flows near the airport.
Okay. All right.
And then there's the name then of a mountain sacred to the Navajo people, and it's basically the eastern boundary of the area. So it's kind of just, I suppose, acknowledging the like Navajo culture in the area more than anything else.
Oh, see, that's lovely.
Absolutely. But along with those symbols, Suz, there's this symbol, and this is basically
okay.
what can only be described as a minecart with the chemical symbols for gold and silver, so AU and AG.
Yep.
And you know that is effectively what it is. But
yeah,
some people have talked about this online, and when I say some people, I mostly mean Reddit.
Did you get this off Reddit?
I got the next part off Reddit, but it was corroborated for me from the Denver Library's website.
Okay, well that's actually a source, so there you go.
So there's a claim relating to this specific inscription is that it basically secretly reveals the means by which the Illuminati, the reptilians, and or the New World Order, because we can't decide which one, is going to wipe out the bulk of humanity. So
silver and
gold? So the AUAG apparently refers to a viral pathogen known as the Australian antigen, and it's apparently something that it's some pathogen or something like that's out there that people have basically created this whole conspiracy that it's basically them signposting to the world that's how they're going to kill everyone. I looked into this just a little bit further because I've never heard of this before, and I was like, I'm not quite sure about this. Apparently the Australia antigen is actually not that at all. It's not some pathogen that's going to wipe out the planet. It's actually apparently something that's used to treat hepatitis B.
Yeah, I was about to say an antigen is like, oh god.
Yeah, so it's not something that's going to wipe out all of humanity. Instead, it's just used to treat.
It's just gonna like heal some people, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have a couple of things I want to comment on. Firstly, it straight up looks like the drawing of it, like it is clearly a minecart, but I say clearly in the way that I've come across, obviously having, been a child in America in the 90s. Like, do you know workbooks in primary school, elementary for our American listeners, that they were teaching you letters and things, and you would have to like write on the line, and there'd be a very simplistic drawing of something. This is a primary school hooked on phonics minecart.
This is basically still how I draw.
This is Rob's like masterpiece. This is
my magnum
opus.
Yes,
I was about to say magnum opus. That's the first thing. Second thing, I need to understand the mental swing, the mental flip, the mental back handspring it took to get from the chemical symbols for silver and gold to the Australian. Oh wait, is it just AU for Australian and AG for antigen? Fuck off! Damn it! I was really giving them a lot more credit than it. Damn it! To fucking. I'm angry now. I am livid. I thought it was going to be something like, well, in like, if you look at alchemical symbols for gold and silver, then it actually related to like the shape of the antigen or so. I don't. Wow. I gave them an inch and they didn't deserve a centimeter. So.
Yeah. You're giving them a lot more credit than I deserve.
Why? So I need to know, what is it for though? What's the real? Why is it there?
It's apparently, I think it's just a nod to the history of the area, that there was gold and silver mining there in times past. I think that's genuinely all it is.
I don't think we should be doing that kind of like marking of just random historical events, particularly in America. Like, a lot of them are going to be bad. Like, if we start doing all of them.
I know. Yeah.
Like
There
was silver and gold here, but nothing else happened. Surely nothing else.
Yep. Oh, I know. Yep. So yeah, that's those. So as you go into the airport. Yep. I talked about it earlier. There is some interesting art on display there. And Denver Library really describes it the best way possible. They say, perhaps the most widely known clue to the airport's evil agenda, aside from the big blue horse, of course, was Leo Tanguma's 3-paneled mural titled "The Children of the World Dream of Peace."
Okay.
I'm going to send you the 3 panels of this, Suz, and I just want you to just have a look for a few seconds at. This is on display in an airport.
What the fuck? Sorry. This is like,
So
I mean, they hired
yeah.
the ghost of Hieronymus Bosch to like do a children's show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what's even happening in the third one?
I know.
Okay, we're gonna need to walk through this for the listeners.
Yeah, so the painting, particularly the first panel, it's got some interesting imagery, and a lot of people have said that it there's apparently it's foretelling the one world government or the new world order rising up, and basically that it's going to wipe out most of the population.
I mean, I think it's foretelling something, but I don't think it's that.
Yeah, so I suppose the best way to describe what's going on here is there's a dude in a gas mask with a rifle and a sword.
Oh, that's not just a sword. That's like a scimitar.
Yeah, and he's killed a dove, which I'm assuming must mean either peace or God or something.
Yeah, but
there's some refugees cowering, and then there's mothers crying over their dead babies.
But Rob, you've left out the almost Pink Floyd like rainbow prism that's sweeping around the figure with the gun, and oh my god, it's got a bayonet on it as well.
It does.
Wow, also it looks like he's in like a gown.
Yeah, so people have basically decided that this is far too sinister for an airport, and they think that it only could be potentially there to showcase shadowy means of the government.
I like how people, I just think it's funny because, and by funny I mean awful, but funny in the dark way, that people get mad at someone like, stating their pronouns, but then there's like this kind of shit, and they're like they look at pronouns and they're like woke mind virus, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to say about this? Like, you don't like me saying she, her, but like this guy's stabbing a dove up the ass with a scimitar. What do you want? Like, I don't.
This is fine, apparently.
This is like, where's the line?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you ever watched Parks and Rec?
Yep.
So you know how they have those panels of like the history of Pawnee, but they're all like the awful war
they're
with the local.
Yeah, they're mad racist.
And so she's constantly being like, yes, it's awful, and we're trying to change it, but here it is for now.
Yeah.
So
it really does have that kind of, yeah.
Okay, let's move to the center.
Yeah, so the second image, it basically shows the world is effectively on fire. Yeah. There's lots of dead animals and lots of dead children.
Well, there's also lots of dead animals in, like, there's like a dead penguin and a dead like bird of paradise of some kind in what I imagine is
display cases.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that supposed to be a display case?
Yeah, so apparently this panel is supposed to depict, I suppose, the impending disaster that is climate change.
No, I get that. This makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah, so that's why the animals are all dead.
And mounted.
And there's and then there's the bodies of like a woman and a child in coffin. And yeah, it's basically, it's supposed to be there to highlight that humans aren't immune from climate change either, effectively.
Oh, I do like as well that like it is very, racially and ethnically diverse.
Yeah, so I think the artist purposely did this to show that everyone on the planet is going to be affected by this.
Okay, no,
but people have taken it to mean, that the shadow government is going to burn the world down.
Well, those people are
just so we're clear.
This is clearly like, okay, like looking at this for half a second, you're like, oh, it's climate change. Like it's
yeah.
These conspiracy people need to watch Fern Gully.
They do. It's such a great film as
Tim Curry was literally the pollution monster.
Yeah, and James Cameron fucking ripped off that entire story, remade it, and called it Avatar.
Yep. Thank
and
you.
I will die on that sword.
And I'm still mad that Tim Curry is not the bad guy in Avatar.
Yeah, 100%. Fern Gully, quality film, by the way.
So
Robin
good.
Williams is in it. So good. Anyone who hasn't seen it, go out and watch it. It's basically, it's far better than Avatar in every way.
Yes.
And I'm quite happy to say that.
Yeah, I will include graphics.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yep.
And then I suppose the final panel, it's, I suppose, the least controversial.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a scene of hope and optimism for the future. People of all races are in it, all nationalities. They're all basically embracing each other. They're all happy and singing. And there are some choice flags there of conflicts that are going on in the world at the time of the artist clearly doing this. There's the the Irish flag and the Union Jack. I just want to point out that the Irish child is a stereotypical ginger girl, which is I don't appreciate. There's obviously obviously the Indian and Pakistan flags. There's Israel, Palestine.
What is it? America?
Yeah.
Oh, Russia. Okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
thought it was
flags.
France for a minute. I was like, what do we do with France? Like, did I not hear? What part of the Associated Press had that on it? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But all these people are basically like embracing over the like cowering body of the soldier from the first one, and it's supposed to be all about peace. So it's
that's nice.
It's an interesting.
It's
one.
very It's very like we are the world, we are the people.
Yep.
Like,
that's exactly that. Yeah. So looking at the final bits of art in the airport before I get into the last bits of this strange airport. I basically just this sculpture appeared outside the airport, and the only way to describe it is it's a statue of Anubis.
Yeah, but it's a statue of Anubis by like an early gen ChatGPT.
Yeah, so it's a 22-foot sculpture of
That's
Anubis.
22 feet tall? Sorry, the perspective's hard to see, and oh my god.
And yeah, basically Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of death. Apparently it appeared in 2010 with no warning.
What do you mean appeared?
It was allegedly, it apparently was erected overnight. It was part of some advertising campaign for the Denver Art Museum, where they had some traveling King Tut exhibition on.
Honestly, why does it say King Tut?
I know, but it was there from June 2010 to January 2011. Just to say it was there. Again, people have used this to basically be like, lads, you're not even trying to hide the fact that, the Illuminati and the Freemasons are here.
Oh, to me, it just seems like they're like announcing that there's going to be a remastered PS1 game, because that guy is polygonal. Like,
true. Very, very true. Yeah, he has got harsh angles. The last bit of art then that I'm going to showcase today, Suz, are these two delightful little dudes in the airport. In the baggage claim area, there are two luggage gargoyles, and they basically are sitting in Samsonite suitcases.
Rob.
They're just,
What the fuck?
I
do need to say it is deep in my bones. Oh my god, I'm so sorry I have to do this, but actually they're grotesques, not gargoyles, because gargoyles have water flowing through them, and that's how you can I'm so sorry.
That's good to know.
I'm so sorry. I took a lot of art history.
So these two luggage gargoyles.
Oh, fuck off. That was good. That was good. But I need to know why one of them looks like the bad guy Bat character from the Anastasia animated film, and then the other one looks like a kind of traditional sort of Southeast Asian kind of mask look to it.
It does, actually. You're spot on with that. Allegedly, these gargoyles are almost direct copies of two gargoyles that are in Notre Dame on the cathedral there.
Oh, this is making me want to... Did you ever watch the show Gargoyles in the 90s?
Oh, I did. I absolutely loved that.
It was a class show. Okay.
It was so good. Yeah.
All right.
So good. Also, thank you for the shout out to Anastasia as well. Great film. I was a huge fan of that.
Putting some deep cut, like, proper good films in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Great soundtrack to that film as well.
Yeah.
Big fan. So that's all the art. And I suppose the last bit that I want to talk about before we wrap up.
Sorry, can you just imagine the lived experience, though, of we didn't have any baggage to pick up in Denver, so we didn't, I'm certain we didn't see this, but could you imagine getting off, like, you're coming in from, like, Australia. You just got in off a 22-hour flight. You're out of your mind on Dramamine and, fatigue, and you roll up and you see this.
Yep.
You'd be like, am I having an Ambien hallucination?
It's mad. It's genuinely mad.
Oh god.
So the last bit then that I want to talk about before I get into the memes that they have produced themselves of this is the theories about the underground bunkers and lizard people. So allegedly this building went massively over budget. We're talking, I think it cost somewhere in the realm of like $3.5 billion or something to build.
Was it Lucifer?
And and something about the building, they talked about how they had to like do a lot of like tunnel work with the building because there's obviously just an underground rail network stuff in it, and baggage carousels and all go underground as well. But people have said that no, there's absolutely no way it cost that much to do that, and the only actual use of this building clearly is that there's secret buildings under this airport. It's an underground network of tunnels and buildings that are there to house the lizard people and or potentially be there as some sort of bunker system for when the basically global war happens, that they can all retreat there. In fact, the elite being they.
Is that not just the plot of Kingsman?
Kind of. And so this is actually kind of, I think, probably one of the more interesting things that I discovered about all of this is that the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, is actually quite close by. It's like 100 miles away. They themselves are quite an interesting group, but there's another military area there called the Cheyenne, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, complex. And this is some like high altitude US military compound that, from what I read online, it's apparently the only military command center in North America that has been certified as being able to withstand an EMP.
What?
That could potentially come from either a nuke going off or some sort of other weapon that produces them.
Oh.
And when I looked into this further, and I went down a rabbit hole for this, Suz, I really did.
Yeah.
When I looked into this further, on denver.org, there is a webpage there that talks about how apparently if Washington DC is destroyed in some sort of disaster or in war, apparently Colorado and Denver that effectively become the second capital.
Oh my god, this is the Hunger Games.
Yeah, apparently it becomes the second capital, and yeah, the Cheyenne complex that's there can house the US military's command, and they're completely safe from all attacks. And allegedly there is a underground bunker system that is linked from the Denver International Airport to both NORAD and the Cheyenne complex. Allegedly, there is some sort of rail system there that travels for hundreds of miles underground. Who am I to know?
I love that so much. Okay, number one, I'm obsessed with trains, and the fact that Americans have implemented is shocking. I love the fact that, because like that's the start of so many. I think my husband's watching a new, I think it's new, but like an Argentinian show called, like, it's not Eternitas, but it's Eterna something. It's in Spanish, obviously, but it basically like something like an EMP has completely like knocked out everything. And so I love that kind of, and there's apparently a really effective scene where there are these like girls on a boat in harbor, and there's like Buenos Aires or I'm so sorry any Argentinian listeners, but there's like a big city in the background, and all of a sudden all the lights go out, and and it's just a really like quiet moment of like, oh, like everything's about to go to shit. So I just love the idea that like the whole country goes dark, but there's like some dude named Paul up in the Cheyenne Air Force Base that's still like playing. He's like, why is nobody responding to my words with friends? Like, God, I posted this TikTok ages ago and nobody's liked it.
Amazing. Yeah. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so strange. But yeah, I suppose to wrap this up then, Denver International Airport and just Denver in general, they love all of the attention that they get on this, and they have leaned into this heavily.
Really?
And I'm a big fan of this. So there has been rumors for years about lizard people living under the airport. Yep. So much so that now employees apparently have been like jokingly walking around in the tunnels with lizard masks on. Yeah. Just to fuck with people. There's been pictures taken multiple times of employees just wearing lizard masks walking around.
This is the kind of energy we need in the world.
I completely agree. And to double down on all of this, when they were doing some renovation works in the airport, they posted this notice throughout the airport, which I am sharing with you now.
Oh my god, this is the, yes, this is what you do.
So they literally have this dude photoshopped with a lizard on his head. They've turned up the filters to make his hands green, and they're saying, what are we doing? A, we're adding amazing new restaurants and bars. B, we're building an Illuminati headquarters. And C, we're remodeling the lizard people's lair.
Learn the truth at denfiles.com.
Yeah.
I want to work at the Denver airport now. That's incredible.
Yeah, and in all of this, they then opened their own museum-style gallery exhibition, and in it, they had a section called The Conspiracy Theories Uncovered. Yeah. And right in the middle of the exhibition, they had an alien skull that was on display that they said that they found during construction of the airport.
Is it the same one from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
It is literally the exact same ones from Indiana Jones.
Oh, Oh, that is class. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
But wait, are the conspiracy theorists then like leaning in and doubling down, being like, oh, well, they're only bold enough to say this because they know no one will believe them, but really they're like the ones who are in the know, I don't know, QAnon, I don't know. It's like...
Exactly. It's phenomenal. Like, they're really like leaning into it. I'm going to send you a final picture of the alien skull to see
holy shit
what they actually put on display.
That is hilarious.
So it's literally the skull from Indiana Jones and the crystal skull.
Oh, that's so great.
So yeah, they know what they're doing, and I appreciate it. And they also talked about how, so they heard this conspiracy theory that I had talked about at the start about the coordinates of the airport, like linking to this place. It was from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and they actually leaned into it, and they were like, well, that Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the information was actually given to Steven Spielberg by aliens. What? So that's why he put the coordinates in there to basically like signpost that that's where it's going. That's where they're gonna be landing effectively.
Oh my god, Rob, that photo, I love that so much. It takes really big drills to get to the underworld.
Yeah, it's just such an amazing time. I'm gonna share loads of these images on Instagram when this episode goes up.
Oh, that is I have loved that this has been a really like image heavy episode. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. And yeah, that kind of pretty much concludes Denver International Airport.
I need to have a quick corrections corner about something I said. I just looked it up. So that series I talked about in Argentina is called the Eternaut. I think in Spanish it might be Eternata, but I said Eternatus, I think, which is it's a Pokemon.
Amazing.
Because I was like, why do I know that? Then I was like, oh yeah, because I've played Pokemon Sword.
I'm not editing any of this out.
I told you the depth of my ignorance is impressive.
Well done.
Thank you. I would have been so excited if I had worked on like the graphic like comms team for Denver Airport where they were like, all right, we're just gonna fucking lean into it. Like we want lizard people on all the signs.
Oh, they're still at it. Like this is the thing. Apparently, anytime that they do any sort of updates or renovations in the building, they just completely lean into this. They had an alien statue there for a while in the same color as Lucifer. Like they just don't give a fuck.
I love the idea as well that there could be someone coming in maybe for business or pleasure or whatever, but they come in from just from far away, Far East Asia, Africa, whatever, and they have no idea that this is like a common running joke, and so they land in the airport and they're like, what the fuck?
Yep, absolutely. I love this, and this does happen to people, I'd say, on the daily, which I'm just a big fan of.
Yeah, I will say the only thing I remember about the Denver airport is we were really tired. We got off the plane because we had taken a really cheap flight on an airline that's not even operational anymore. We immediately went to the first fast food place we saw, and it was Chick-fil-A. And
oh, nice! I thought you were going to say McDonald's. So
no, it
nice.
was. I need to apologize. I know, but like I after eating Chick-fil-A, I still remain bisexual. So like their campaigning's not working, I guess. But their waffle fries are. I'll tell you that.
Do you know what? Actually, you'll be glad to know that apparently Popeyes is opening in Ireland this year.
Oh my god, I was just talking about this with my husband. So he watches a chef on YouTube called Kenji, I think. And
Kenji.
He did this whole special on Popeyes, and apparently, so there are. We looked it up. There are apparently multiple Popeyes in the city I'm from. I have literally never eaten there, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
I've even eaten Popeyes.
Yeah, I've never had Popeyes, but apparently he uses it as like if he's making kind of Chinese American delivery style General Tso's chicken, he uses just like Popeyes chicken nuggets as the base.
Fair enough. That's
And apparently they did like a big pickle menu recently, and it was a big sauce.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, there you go. Popeyes is going to open, and allegedly Taco Bell is going to also open here.
Shut the front door, your dirty mouth. Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, I can get the nachos. I want nachos book run. I can get a Baja Blast Mountain Dew again.
Yeah, probably.
Rob, something deep within me has awoken.
The Texan has awoken.
I'm like, hi, can I get chalupa? Oh my god, I could get the cinnamon sugar tortilla. Oh my god, sorry, Rob. I haven't eaten dinner.
Well, there you go. Now you've got something to look forward to.
I'm going to eat dinner now thinking about both Popeyes and the fact that there's an underground tunnel system under Denver Airport, under which perhaps there are lizard people going up to an EMP-proof Air Force base.
Look, it's all food for thought.
Do you think it's connected to the Black Pyramid? Is that where it's getting its power so the EMP doesn't bother it?
Absolutely. I'm sure if we look on the ley line map of the world, you'll probably see a direct link from there to Alaska.
Oh, so you know their orgasms are vibrating on that right frequency because they are free electricity.
100%. Those lizards are like plugged in.
I think that should be our first t-shirt.
Avatar style. They've they've plugged into the system.
Like our first t-shirt should just be just say free electricity as possible, and then just have a black pyramid on it.
I will happily make that t-shirt if people were interested.
I think we should just make us some, and then we'll just wear it on our on-site recording.
100%. If people are interested in that t-shirt, let us know, because I will happily get that t-shirt made.
And if you think we will not wear it, we will 100% wear it.
Happily wear that.
Oh god, thank you.
But
I'm so happy you did that.
That is Denver.
That was so fun.
No problem. I've been looking forward to doing this one for a while, so it's a fun one. It's so enjoyable.
The minute you said Denver,
just such a weird
you said Colorado first, and then I got kind of worried because I was like, we're not a true crime podcast. Please do not talk about the murder of John Benet Ramsey. And I was like, please, I don't want to talk about this. And then
no, don't worry. That would not be in my area.
No, I was like, we don't do that.
No, we absolutely do not.
Then the minute you said Denver, I was like, oh my god, if he says the airport, I'm going to scream. So excited.
Well, there you go. So yeah, I hope people have enjoyed this one. I love this. It's so fun.
Sorry, I'm just setting my profile picture on Discord to Lucifer.
Good. I am going to keep an eye on any updates that come from Denver in the sense of any additional construction works that are going on, so I can share the pictures of the posters as they come up. But I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed it, if you've got some thoughts on it, please do share them with us. You can get us on social media at Instagram and Threads at the Spooky AF Pod. We're on YouTube at the Spooky AF Podcast, and you can also get us on Gmail at the Spooky AF Podcast at gmail.com. There's a multitude of ways to get in touch with us. I would love to hear your thoughts and theories on them. Are you team alien, team lizard person? Or are you more on the side of the New World Order and the Illuminati? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
No, you need to. I think you need to be Team Lucifer, or you're not allowed back in.
Yeah, you're not allowed back in this paranormal community.
No. He's
Suz's icon has updated in real time in front of me as Lucifer, and I'm here for this.
I love it so much.
So yeah, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we will absolutely catch you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.
Bye, everybody.